I practice, you know. I
I
practice.
practice without.
That's
I
what people
usually
say. Oh,
prefer
you play
practice
so
without an
well.
amplifier. I like to play without an amp still. I do. I like to hear. It helps me a lot in trying to make my picking as precise as it can be. Because if I could hear everything that I'm doing without the amp going or gain, like even when I practice here at the house and I'm using some effects like my overdrive, I have just like it's like almost like an SD1 and has very little gain
Right.
into a clean channel. And that's how I run it because I don't want to saturate uh, everything too much because I want to be able to hear what I'm doing. And if I'm making mistakes, I want to own up to them and try to correct them, and force myself to do something. But I don't like to practice with a heck of a lot of gain going. Just to try and improve if I can. I mean, I don't know, man. At my age, I'm just happy to still be playing.
But it's interesting though that what you're saying though is that there's this kind of drive that is connected to the point where you're driven to have that guitar in your hands. Is there, and forgive me if I'm getting too weird on this, but is there a fear that underlines that? Like, okay, Joe just said that, he's like, okay, well, I've got the guitar with me, and it's cool. But Jimmy, you seem driven to the point where it's like, are you running your solos for the show? Or
I'm just practicing.
You're just so it's almost like Linus's blanket, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's like I have the thing. It's like when I'm in I don't lie to you. When I'm in the hotel room, the guitar sleeps on it's right. Well, it doesn't sleep, but it's right on the bed next to me, and
right.
I will pick that guitar up all hours of the night. I don't put it away in a case over on a chair or anything.
Yeah.
It's right on the bed, and I'll grab one. Sometimes I have both of them on the bed, and I'll just go between them. It's just the way I was, the way I made myself, it's kind of it's great. The stories I could tell you, like bringing my daughter down to the playground so she could play with kids. I would have a guitar in the car and she would run off and play with kids, and I would practice in my car while she's playing with kids. So that's kind of what I'm trying to tell you.
So Jimmy, how new do your strings have to be before you're actually on stage performing?
I change my strings every gig.
Every gig. All right. So you got
every single gig.
Even when it's laying next to you, is that like after a gig or in between gigs?
Before I leave for I got a couple gigs this weekend. Like I'll change them tomorrow, and I'll break them in. Because of the Floyd and everything. I want to get everything really locked in. So I like to put a new set of strings on before every show. I like new strings. There's some people that don't like new strings. I
love new strings. They're not bent yet.
No, I don't. I like worn-in strings.
Yeah.
The problem with worn-in strings,
they don't stay in tune.
What the fear with worn-in strings, strings not changing, is them. And it happens on the Floyds too. They right on the saddle after a while. I've had them break on the locking nut. And this is and the Floyd thing has only been using that again since I joined Autograph. But even when I was playing all my SGs, I had to change those all the time. You get those Gibson bridges; they cut the strings right on that point. If you don't have a fresh string on there all the time. Yeah, exactly.
Right
yeah, constantly.
I found one of a nice trick to do is to just take chapstick and you put it right on the saddles here, and then you take a cloth. Then you take a cloth and you wipe the excess off, and then that chapstick is a really good lubricant, just for guitars. I'm saying.
Yeah, Greg uses it for other things. I know that. He told me.